Now on CoastTV News.
Suspect sparks scare, the arson arrest after the Sunday morning fire at the Pennsylvania governor's residence. And bridge block begins. We look at the project shutting down one of the main roadways into Ocean City.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Elisa Weber and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. Our top story this morning, police say they have a suspect in custody in connection to a fire at the Pennsylvania governor's official residence. Governor Josh Shapiro says state police woke up his family at 2 a.m. Sunday morning and led them to safety. Luckily, no one was injured, but as you can see on your screen, there was significant damage to the interior of the home. Authorities say they have arrested 38-year-old Cody Balmer and will charge him with attempted murder, terrorism, and aggravated arson. Investigators say they believe this was a targeted attack, but the motive is unclear.
But we do know that this attack was targeted. We don't know the person's specific motive yet, but we do know a few truths. First, this type of violence is not okay. This kind of violence is becoming far too common in our society. And I don't give a damn if it's coming from one particular side or the other, directed at one particular party or another, or one particular person or another. It is not okay. And it has to stop. We have to be better than this.
Hours before the fire, the governor, who is Jewish, said he and his family celebrated Passover with friends at that residence. And happening tonight in Milton, the latest crackdown on speeding. Several options doing that could move forward to the Milton Town Council. One of those deals with portable radar signs. Currently, there are several throughout the town, including Mulberry Street and Atlantic Street. Another is the use of cameras in work zones to enforce speeding violations. A vote on sending it to the council is expected at tonight's Street and Sidewalks Committee meeting. And we are now taking a live look outside at Rehoboth Beach this morning, and our first alert meteorologist, Bob Trihey, is going to join us. Bob, we see people on the boardwalk. It's more pleasant this morning than it was yesterday and especially Saturday.
Oh, that is for sure, Elisa. Saturday was brutal. It was a lot better on Sunday, and today I think it's not too bad. We had a few sprinkles earlier on with the warm front. Now it's getting mild, 60 in Seaford, Georgetown, and I did check Millsboro, 59 there, 52 in Rehoboth, 51 in Ocean City, and Salisbury at 59. As the winds have come in out of the south, they're pretty light, but we had a warm front move through this morning with those sprinkles, and still some leftover clouds, but we're also seeing some breaks in the clouds, so I'm thinking mostly cloudy as we go through the afternoon. There are some of those showers along a warm front that are now moving out to sea. And as that warm front has lifted to the north and east, we're getting into a milder southwesterly flow, and that's ahead of a cold front that will bring some showers and possibly some bigger storms tonight. But first things first, Futurecast at noon, we're into the upper 60s, and we'll see some holes in the overcast from time to time. And the latest model run has several inland locations in the lower 70s later this afternoon, with 50s and 60s at the coast. So very pleasant even into this evening with temperatures away from the coast in the 60s and 70s. Day part forecast has us close to 70 this afternoon with the winds coming out of the south. Then our attention turns to a cold front tonight, the possibility of some strong to maybe severe storms. I'll talk about that and what we can expect for the rest of the week coming up a little bit later in the newscast.
Thank you, Bob. If you plan to drive across the Route 90 bridge overnight, think again because maintenance work started on Sunday. As CoastTV News reporter Kevin Zappé shows us, that road is now closed at night.
The winds of change are bringing warmer weather to the coast, and warmer weather brings crowds of people with it. That includes summer hotspot Ocean City, a place Mike Burns vacations to every year.
Incredibly busy, because this is a great place to come and hang out.
But for those planning to make the drive in at night, the Route 90 bridge, one of just two of the bridges that can take you to OC, is going to be closed. That's due to some maintenance work. According to the Maryland Department of Transportation, a 12-mile section of Route 90 is going to be shut down from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. every night. In between those hours, all the work being done will include guardrail repairs, patching the bridges, inlet cleaning to improve highway drainage, and debris removal. While the bridge is shut down, drivers will be directed to the Route 50 bridge, and that will add about 30 minutes to your travel time. But Burns feels this will be the right time to get this project done.
It'll cause a lot of traffic, but right now the season hasn't even started, so This is the time to do it instead of waiting until the middle of the summer when it really causes havoc for people.
According to MDOT, everything should be finished by April 17th, weather permitting. And assuming it is your nighttime drive to the beach, can return to normal where the only thing slowing you down are the other cars sharing the bridge with you. I'm Kevin Zapay, Ocean City, Coast TV News.
The city of Cambridge is moving forward with plans to resurface about 2.2 miles of roadway this year. The city says the project will start with selected sidewalk improvements in mid-April, with paving running through this fall, all weather permitting. City engineers say they prioritize roads based on their condition using a pavement study from 2018. The $600,000 project is being funded by the city, and a full list of streets can be found on the city's website. And happening today in Fenwick Island, officials could take action on its Emergency Operations Center. The Emergency Management Committee is asking for a building out of the Emergency Operations Center in the police department. In addition to that, there is another request for equipment such as smart boards, laptops, and iPads. That committee could decide to forward those requests to the town council during the meeting this morning. And in Georgetown, there could be a food truck option starting next month. Tonight, the town council will consider allowing trucks on East Market Street twice a month from May through August. And we should learn more about the demands of the Lewis Fire Department. And over the past 2 months, it appears those demands have increased. This year, the department has responded to over 1,500 EMS events this year, and the fire department data shows a rise in call volume from 2018. And one of the reasons it is warning city officials that it will have to end emergency medical services if it doesn't get more money. According to the department, more emergencies has led to rising staffing costs. And coming up after the break, last race in Rehoboth, how one man is completing a huge running goal with one last race in the nation's summer capital. Over the weekend, one man completed his goal of running 50 marathons in all 50 states in the city where he took the final steps, Rehoboth Beach. After hundreds of miles on foot, Ranjit Singh is crossing the finish line in Rehoboth Beach, had its annual Coastal Delaware Running Festival over the weekend. That marathon stretched over 26 miles, and what was planned to be a 2-year journey running marathons finished early, only taking Singh 20 months to complete.
Always tell them actually, don't plan big actually, just go baby step and just go one step at a time actually. It is doable, everybody can run, I can say.
And his family and the YMCA were by his side, with the YMCA even lending him his very own van to drive across the country and promote his journey. And if you take a look at your screen right now, this incredible photo from the Stockton Volunteer Fire Company shows a cow stuck in an in-ground swimming pool in Worcester County. The company says this was at a home around 10 a.m. on Saturday. They say firefighters from multiple companies helped in getting the animal safely out of the pool. And Easter is right around the corner, and you can start your Easter Sunday with music and meaningful conversation if you celebrate with the Sunrise Sermons 2025, The Final Sacrifice. Services begin at 7 a.m. on Coast Country, 9:30 on the Delmarva Sports Network, and at 10:30 right here on Coast TV.
We're seeing a lot of clouds on this Monday morning, but it's warming up despite that, up to 61 in Cambridge on the FH4 cam. It's mainly cloudy. We'll be seeing those temperatures rising into the mid-60s, close to 70 in some inland spots. So a good-looking Monday. Some storms tonight could be on the strong side with a midweek cool down, then frost possible as we go into Thursday morning. Congratulations to Lewins Dunning from Lewis, winning a new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV. I'll track the storms and have the temperature update in my full forecast, tracking it on Futurecast in 2 minutes. We're seeing lots of clouds on our Monday. In fact, we had a few sprinkles earlier this morning with a warm front moving through and still hanging on to the clouds on the Tullen Razor Cam right now. 61 degrees, so it is warming up despite the cloud cover, and we'll be in the lower 60s at the beach. It's a little cooler for you here, but inland areas, a lot of places flirting with 70 degrees as we're looking at a warmer afternoon, but it's going to be brief as we have a cold front moving in tonight, and that will trigger some showers and possibly some thunderstorms storms. Some of those could get a little feisty. We'll talk about that coming up. And then the midweek time period, it's cool with a brief cool shot with below average temperatures, sunny and dry conditions. And we're also looking at a possibility of frost as we go into Thursday morning. So not quite done with having to protect the plants yet. And we'll definitely want to do that later in the week. But it's warming up nice now. 62 in Seaford, 60 in Georgetown, and 59 in Salisbury. At the coast, a little cooler, 51 in Ocean City and 57 right now in Bethany Beach as the winds have turned in out of the south-southwest. Not especially strong, about 5 to 10 miles per hour, but that's bringing in some warmer air. And this is the visible satellite picture. You see some of these dark spots indicating the breaks in the overcast, and we'll call it mostly cloudy now across much of the region. And as we zoom out, you can see some of those sprinkles that came through earlier as warmer air is making its way into Delmarva. Warm front back to the west is heading our way. And you can see the clearing skies to Pennsylvania back into Virginia. So this afternoon, I think we will possibly get into more sunshine and definitely warmer out ahead of this cold front. And this cold front could give us a chance of a little bit of severe weather through the overnight hours, but right now not looking too bad. So we've got actually two cold fronts. This one moves through tonight, and then the second one will be moving through tomorrow night. That's a drier one, but it's got colder air behind it, slated to move in midweek. So futurecast at noon, still have some clouds and some breaks in the clouds. Upper 60s to low 70s now from Ellendale to Millsboro, 69 in Delmar. But temperatures a little cooler at the beaches. I think you're in the 50s to lower 60s here around 4:30, 61 in Bethany Beach, 64 in Rehoboth. But look at the lower 70s from Millsboro back through Delmar and Salisbury as well. So maybe get out there and do some spring cleaning and some lawn work. As we go through this evening, we're looking at temperatures in the 60s. We start to cloud it up later in the evening, and then we're seeing a cold front heading our way. This particular model has backed off on the severity of the system, but it looks like some heavier rain, maybe some gusty winds around midnight till about 1:30, and then that system moves to the south and east, maybe a lingering shower around 5 a.m. Otherwise, we're looking at temperatures into the 60s and morning clouds Tuesday. It gets breezy out of the west as we go into the afternoon with temperatures into the 60s, and then that secondary cold front moves in Tuesday night. We do have a low risk of severe weather roughly from Highway 113 to the west, Salisbury, Seaford, back through Smyrna and Dover. That means we could see some damaging winds possible, maybe in excess of 50 miles per hour, but that's about it with this system, and maybe up to about a quarter inch of rain, maybe a little more in some other places. And by Thursday morning, once again, we'll have to protect those plants with temperatures dipping into the 30s, so make sure you do that. And then looking into the weekend, the Easter weekend and beyond, we are looking at temperatures well above normal. Looks like we finally settle into a spring-like pattern, sustain one into next week. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 69 today. Tuesday 66, cooler 57 Wednesday. Thursday morning in the 30s, make sure you protect your plants, and then warming up to 69, but Good Friday, 78 Saturday. Right now, crossing our fingers for a dry Easter Sunday holiday, and for Easter Sunday, 65 with partly cloudy skies.
Thank you, Bob. If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. And coming up after the break, agriculture innovation. We'll tell you how Delaware State University is looking for the next big tech and what major award students could win. Students at Delaware State University could be awarded over $200,000 to further innovation in agriculture. Today, the university is hosting Innovation Venture, a national summit focused on agriculture technology. According to DSU, the day includes discussions with industry leaders and a product pitch competition for students. The award money totaling $225,000 will help them progress those pitches into market-ready products. This is especially important as much of Delaware's economy relies on its farms. And happening today in Lewis, possible action on a request from the Public Art Committee. According to the agenda, the group wants to install 2 new park benches at Mary Vessels Park. The seating would be permanent additions, and the Lewis City Council meeting will take place tonight at 5:30. And coming up after the break, Easter Egg Alternative will tell you about a company that is getting creative with Easter traditions. Many kids love to dye eggs to celebrate Easter, and even though egg prices have started to come down, people are still scrambling for an alternative to a popular pastime. This prompted Jet Puff Marshmallows to release a color dyeing kit just in time for Sunday's holiday. The first of its kind Dip and Decorate dozen kit is being sold for about $2. It comes with a 24-ounce bag of extra large marshmallows, 6 colors, miniature tongs for dipping and decorating, pens for designs. And coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night at 5:30, Stephen Decatur takes on Easton in boys lacrosse. Then catch the final score at 10:30. And for your DSN Plus exclusives, along with that game of the night we just mentioned, at 4 p.m., a girls lacrosse double feature. Kent County travels to Cambridge, South Dorchester, and Sussex Tech hosts Dover. At 5:30, Milford is away at Dover for boys lacrosse. At 6:15, Cesar Rodney takes on Caravel Academy in girls lacrosse.
We're seeing some sunshine in Laurel right now and maybe a few spider webs as well. 63 there. Warming up into the upper 60s and low 70s later today. Watch for some storms tonight. Could be on the strong side. Maybe some damaging winds and then a midweek cool down. Some frost possible by Thursday morning. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone. Another way to get your forecast. Sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up next. Pretty decent weather heading into the afternoon. Perhaps you want to do some outdoor lawn work. Looking good for that. Temperatures warming through the 60s. A light wind out of the south, so at least the winds calm down for a little bit. And temperatures near 70 inland, cooler at the beaches. We're okay through about 9 o'clock. Then after that, I think by midnight, some showers and maybe some heavier storms, maybe some damaging winds through the overnight. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, mid-60s as we go into Tuesday. There's the cool down Wednesday, maybe a frost Thursday morning, and then warming up into the holiday weekend, 78 Saturday. Right now, Easter Sunday looking dry, 65, and looking at a more sustained, milder spring pattern next week.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Midday. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. And don't forget to join us for Coast TV News at 5 later this afternoon. Have a great day.